I am super excited to start off today's session. My next question is around, again, the higher management, leaders. What role do leaders and managers play in promoting a continuous learning experience and like a continuous learning culture and skill development among the teams? And what strategies have you personally found effective or helpful in your experience?
Okay, so, Pragya, leadership, continues to play a very crucial role in shaping the organizational behavior. As we've seen over a period of time, this continues to remain important. Leaders now, more than ever, have the ability to set the vision. They role model a behavior. People learn from them. People emulate them. They also communicate what needs to be done, what cannot be done. They also have a duty to constantly engage. They also play a large part in influencing the culture that drives learning and thereby drives a constant connect of learning to an employee performance. A leader and their employees need to ensure that their teams perform at their optimal levels, and hence it is important, more and more important, that they work with their L&D teams to align the organizational goal to the learning needs. So as soon as the organizational goals are set at the beginning of the year, you see, a flow of meetings along with the learning team that these are my goals and what is it that we believe should be the learning plans that should be set for the year, right? So probably vis-a-vis, probably announcing a learning calendar which talks about certain learning needs and, wherein you try and fit in employees to the kind of learning opportunities available. The world has now evolved to actually building a learning need from scratch and ensuring that it stays true to what an organization, wishes to achieve. So any leader who takes a keen interest in the learner progress also ensures that the learning is taken more seriously and they stay true to the expected outcomes. There is a regular feedback that the leader ends up giving to the learner participants, which also helps L&D in ensuring that the learners kind of continue to persist in their journey towards excellence. Now, what has helped me is, again, I'll come back to the point of competencies. As long as I ensure that my learning stays true to the competencies that each role demands, I ensure that the learning is on the right chart. Asking a lot of questions, I believe, is important to understand a rationale to why a leader wants to have a certain set of learning objectives fulfilled. What's the kind of learning, assignment that will help the learner progress in their journey? How do we derive the outcomes, or what do we want to derive as an outcome? And how do we build the overall learning journey? It is very important, as I said earlier, to ensure that the leader buys into your thought process, which is where you need to collaborate more. My leaders have definitely ensured that we collaborate at every step of the journey, right from even building, the learning journey, understanding the kind of needs, model, how the learning model is going to look like, have regular assessments at each step of the journey, ask the right questions, make iterations where required. We do a lot of project-based, learning interventions. So most of our high-level learning interventions always end with a project so that the learners have the opportunity to actually apply the learnings and see the results for themselves. So even if you are, your learning includes certain soft skills, we ensure that this is built as an experience to certain projects which are more organization based, so that the projects are relevant to the organization and something that the organization immediately benefits from, or probably you see the benefits over a shorter period of time. At the same time, we ensure that the learners are able to capitalize on the skills that they have learned and ensure that they derive a better performance, right? So this is something that we've really implemented in Royal Sundaram, and we've seen a lot of success out of it.
Wonderful. That's an excellent idea of project-based learning. So what, just to reiterate on what you were saying, if I as an employee have learned how to acquire new skills, post which I will be part of a project that may indirectly or directly be related to the skills or the upskilling basically that I have achieved. Is that
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Either it will relate to the skill if it is a very functional based or very knowledge based learning, or it has to ensure that that skill is a part of the project. For example, if I have learned, or if I have upskilled when it comes to collaboration or when it comes to relationship building. I have ensured that we have our learner participants put in projects where they have to work in groups. So these ensure, that, you are actually using those collaborative skills while working with other people. Your project stays relevant to something that the organization wishes to achieve, which means it stays relevant to the functional objective or the overall strategic objectives that the organization wants to kind of derive as an outcome, and thereby also ensures that the learner collaborates more, builds those relationships. Earlier, a learner who would probably only work in silos now works better with teams. So for example, we had a learning journey which we created last year for our N-1. Tomorrow, if I have certain people who I believe can be functional heads, I would also require them to collaborate better. I would require them to manage certain competencies that are expected out of a functional head. I would also require them to be appreciative of the kind of strategy that a functional head has to build and how they have to evolve with the organizational strategies. So what we ensured is we had projects, where we assigned projects in groups. Now, mind you, every learner came from a different department and they had to work on a project which was not aligned to their department, which means you had learners who were stepping into somebody else's shoes. You had learners who probably never worked with those set of, leaders before. You initially were forced to collaborate, and over a period of time, the collaboration came very naturally. You build better relationships. So, out of this team, even if I have certain people who become functional heads over 2 years or a 3-year period, now these functional heads have become build better relationships, become friends, and tomorrow they will work better with each other. So when you future proof what you need or what an organization requires for tomorrow, again you come back to the age old competencies, but while you still try and ensure that the learning stays relevant, you also ensure that you're able to encapsulate the learning to your life skills or to the actual work that a learner is doing. So that helps you build that, get that buy-in from the leadership also, and your learning continues to stay resilient.
Understood. So in short, leadership are the new influencers of learning.
Leaders remain the only influencers of learning. I believe we can, as we say, we are the learning partners, but there is only so much of influence that a learning team can give to their learners. I would leave the rest to how the leaders, how passionate are the leaders about learning and how they are able to build learning as something that helps them build their strategy for tomorrow.